Hello, welcome back to episode of 3 Guys with Mike. My name is Jeremiah. Joined by two co-hosts here, William and Aaron. As you can see, we have a new setup here, trying it out for the very first time. And today's episode is going to focus on the Super Bowl. As we all know, it's a matchup between the Bengals and the Los Angeles Rams. Let's go ahead and get into it.
Tied up by Green, throws it back up top. James puts up the three. Oh, it's good! LeBron James from downtown.
You know, guys, diving on into this. Aaron, I want you to tell the viewers, what this means to Cincinnati, right? Tell us a little bit about the atmosphere, right? It's a big game here.
As everybody knows, they haven't made it since 1988, right? Heartbreaking loss to the 49ers. And ever since then, they've been trying to find their groove, right? I feel like every team in a drought has done it. But I don't know, the city behind Joe Burrow, Joe Mixon, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, a bunch of these young guys, I just feel like they have them in the backpack right now. I feel like that's the momentum that they carry into every game, even in the away games. You see a whole bunch of Cincinnati fans in the stadium, no matter where they play. It was Arrowhead and then Tennessee, right? Mm-hmm. This is obviously really huge. Cleveland hasn't had anything like this since LeBron finally brought them that ring back in 2016 against the best team in the NBA. I find this very similar. You know, they're going in there in SoFi against a team in their home stadium, mind you, not the Rams, playing this super team full of Hall of Famers, future Hall of Famers, and a bunch of young guys who have young talent who are potentially going to be Hall of Famers in the future. So I feel like with Cincinnati riding on their back, I don't know how those fans are going to get the tickets considering how much those prices go for.
Yeah, they'll find a way.
Yeah, they'll find a way eventually. It's Cincinnati, you know, Cleveland. It's Cleveland, obviously.
Yeah.
We're going into Cincinnati, man. I just feel like, my thing is, good things come to an end.
Oh,
that's all I'm gonna say. Good things come to an end.
It's a future prediction there. So I'm talking about this here. Like Joe Burrow, right? You know, here's the fact of the matter. A month and a half ago, right? 6 weeks ago, 7 weeks ago, right? If you'd have told me the Bengals were in the Super Bowl, I would have laughed at you. You know what I mean? Like 7-8 weeks ago, the Ravens were in contention to win the AFC West, right? Yeah. Like they were in contention to win, right? And then the whole Lamar injury goes down, right? Big Ben struggles, and Steelers are out of it, Browns drop out of it, right? And all of a sudden, the Bengals start catching traction, right? The Bengals start winning game after game. The pieces start really to mesh together, right? We all know, right? The Chiefs, a roster full of young guys, right? Well, look at the Bengals here. Look at the pieces they've built around, right? You draft T. Higgins in the second round. You draft Jamar Chase, a controversial pick at the time over Penei Sewell, right? Yeah. I'd say it paid off, right? You draft Joe Burrow with the first overall pick, right? I mean, a year ago when Joe Burrow tears his ACL at Washington, you're thinking, oh wow. There goes that. Yeah. There goes a career that could have been, right? But no, he flips the switch, he turns it around, right? I think we said this multiple times, week in and week out. I wouldn't want to get a bet against Joe Burrow. I said it last week, right? You stack the chips against Joe Burrow, and somehow he does it. We all know, we'll put up the photo here. We all know the famous hit versus UCF, right? The famous hit, he throws a pick, and he gets creamed, right? He gets dusted, right? The blindside block, right? Since that game, he's only gone on to never lose a game in college football, to win the national championship, to blow out Alabama, to be the number 1 overall pick, right? Yeah, he struggled in his first year, and then coming back from an ACL injury, which he recovered fast, right? He recovered fast.
MCL,
he was ahead of the schedule. He was ahead of schedule, right? He comes back and he leads his team to a divisional championship, right? And he wins his division. He wins the conference. You mean like he's done all these things, and people are still taking the Rams in the Super Bowl, which flabbergasts me. I have no words to describe how I feel in that situation here. And I'm not even a Rams fan, you know what I mean? I'm not even a Bengals fan. I'm a Joe Burrow fan. I gotta say that right now. Joe Burrow, man, what he's done this year, what he's done for this team, there's a million names. There's Joe Burr, Joe Shiesty, right? Whatever it is, right? I'm bought in. I'm bought into the character. I'm bought into the atmosphere that comes with Joe Burrow, right? Like those glasses that he wears, right? Like I've never seen those glasses. The chain, right? The turtleneck, the outfits, right? Like even the fact that Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase are close friends and their dads are close friends, right? That just it's hard to root against the guy. Yeah. Like he gives me so many reasons to just like him. You mean on the contrary, like LeBron James, right? LeBron gives me every reason to hate LeBron. Like I am a LeBron hater. You mean because I have reasons to do it, right? Joe Burrow, on the other hand, I just have to root for him. I just love the guy. Yeah. Looking at it last week, you know what I mean? Like, remember Josh Allen, right? Josh Allen, right? They don't get the coin toss, right? What did he pick? Heads, right? It was tails, right?
Or no, he picked tails.
He picked tails, right? It was heads, right? I was like, Josh Allen would have won, right? Yeah, Joe Burrow, right? Oh, he's going to everything. Oh, Joe Burrow. No, bro. No, they get a pick, and Joe Burrow goes and wins the football game. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you stack the chips against Joe Burrow, and he does it once again. And looking at this game, right? This Sunday, right? At SoFi Stadium. Oh, let's just stack more chips. Oh, yeah, he has no fans. Stack more chips. Oh, it's away. Let's stack more chips. Oh, Aaron Donald. Let's stack more chips. Jalen Ramsey. Like, there's so many things I could just say, like, that Joe Burrow isn't going to get the job done. But then I'm just going to eat my words on Monday when we record. Like that's all I'm going to say. Willie, you know what? Give your thoughts real quick.
All right, just backtracking on what you said.
Yeah.
I could tell you're a clear-cut Tom Brady and a Patriots. You just skipped over, and they get a pick in overtime. Like, that wasn't the biggest thing in that overtime.
And the defense is
the defense was just there the whole game.
Yeah, okay,
like,
Rondo, yeah. He's stopping.
But I like how you touched on Jamar Chase. I think that's the biggest point. And I don't know, we didn't really get your take, but me and Aaron were kind of wrong. We ate our own words. We thought that the Bengals should have taken a tackle. We thought it was the sexier pick, but it wasn't exactly the right pick, right? And now, it doesn't matter. When you have a guy who gets sacked the most times in the NFL, but you have a receiver on the outside who puts up yards like that against the Chiefs, who can change the game on any given play. He did twice, and now as we saw in Detroit earlier this year, he got a key block, huge block. So he's making everything. And keep in mind, his first year in the NFL, he didn't even play college football last year, and this man is making an impact instantly. So this Bengals team, I agree with you guys. They are scary. It is kind of a story. It is a story that pretty much only someone could write in a book, right? And I'm not getting into my takes right now, but this team, I'm excited for them, even if they don't win this year.
Yeah.
The future is very, very bright.
Definitely. Moving on here. Next game. Well, next team, right?
Next team.
This Los Angeles Rams team. I've said it multiple times here. You can make a movie about what Matthew Stafford has done his first year, right? You mean just coming over his first year from a historically bad franchise in the last 35 years, right? Just bad, right? 0-3 in playoff games before coming to Los Angeles, right?
Yeah.
And obviously now, going through Jimmy Garoppolo, going through Tom Brady, right? Just accumulating playoff wins as he's going on, right? It's a sight to see, right? Matthew Stafford, phenomenal season. You know what I mean? I'm not going to quite say he's an MVP, but he had an MVP kind of season, right? Yeah, he had a great season, right? It does help that this, I don't know, he's a receiver on the Rams, pretty good. Cooper Kupp, right? I don't know, maybe you've heard of him, right? I don't know, he's only set like
Triple crown.
Yeah, he almost hit the Triple Crown, right? Almost hit like every single record, right? Anyways, Matthew Stafford here. Now, I'm going to go ahead and talk about Los Angeles, right? I'm talking about Los Angeles, right? As we all know, a few years ago, Los Angeles was in the Super Bowl, right? Quarterback named Jared Goff, right? Sean McVay was there. Familiar name. His name's Todd Gurley. He was there, right? Coming off, you know what I mean? They were building something. You know what I mean? They were on a high slope, right? Todd Gurley's coming off. You know what I mean? His Offensive Player of the Year season, right?
Yeah.
Just phenomenal, right? All the pieces kind of like Jared Goff did enough to where you didn't lose games. You know what I mean? Or you didn't necessarily win games. He just put you in the right spot, right? He made the right play when he had to make the play. Similar to what Jimmy Garoppolo was
This season.
his career. Yeah, right? And they go on to lose that game, right? It was they put up 3 points in the Super Bowl. It was abysmal. You mean it was everything you didn't want it to be, right? And then later on, time goes on and the Rams make a decision. And they say, you know what, like, we want to win now. Right?
Yeah.
I don't know their GM's name, but whatever his name is, he decides I don't need first round picks. I don't want them. Take them all. And he makes trade after trade after trade. You get Ramsey, you get Von Miller. You just keep building pieces, right? You get Odell Beckham Jr., right? You know what I mean? Like, you get Matthew Stafford, right? He did all these pieces. And I feel like people are looking at it like, oh, what is this guy doing? You know what I mean? He's kind of, and I'm not a gambler. I'm not a gambler, but he put all his chips in. He went all in. He truly went all in, right? And I believe he paid off. Hell, even if they don't win the Super Bowl, right? I think he still accomplished his goal. I mean, they still accomplished changing it, right? He definitely put change. He definitely won playoff games again, right? Mm-hmm. What this means for LA, right? LA, city of angels, right? The Dodgers, they win championships, right? The Lakers, they win championships, right?
In a bubble, yeah.
Yeah, in a bubble, right? And then you go to the Rams here, and they struggled. They truly, the Los Angeles, former St. Louis, former LA again. They truly have struggled.
They went from Halloween to December without winning a game.
Right? Yeah. So they truly have struggled to win a Super Bowl. I don't remember the last time the Rams. Do you guys remember the last time the Rams won a Super Bowl?
2000.
It was with Kurt Warner, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was with Kurt Warner, right?
Tackle.
Yeah, and so It was with Kurt Warner, right? A long time ago, right? I believe this. I'm not gonna say it's a redemption, but it's about time for this Los Angeles Rams team. I believe they're right where they want to be. Right? They have the entire city behind them. They have a brand new stadium, a beautiful stadium. They have home field advantage in the Super Bowl. Not many can say that. You know what I mean? They have everybody rooting for them. Everybody's giving them a reason to win, right? They have every reason to win. They have all the stars. Everything's lined up. They have the coaches. They have the leader in Matthew Stafford. They have the playmakers, right? I don't know what's going to happen. Give me your thoughts, Will.
Well, I have an idea what's going to happen. But going on with this team, I was concerned. As me and Aaron were talking about earlier in the season, they were my Super Bowl favorite. They were the team that I thought could come out of the NFC, especially after that Week 4 performance, I believe, against Tampa Bay at home. I thought this is the team. But then that spurt, I even had an argument, I don't know if she told you, but with your mom. She got very heated. And I was just saying, I'm like, look, man, if you acquire all these offseason talents, and even during the season, and you don't win a game for an entire month, that's a red flag. That's something that you have to be concerned about. But they pulled it through. Again, as we talked about last week, the biggest win of the season, a crazy game, and I think that's really what pulled them through was Matthew Stafford.
Yes.
And you said the difference between Jared Goff and him. And I'm gonna have to disagree with you when you said that if they lose the Super Bowl, it's a success. I think it is, but in the bigger picture, I think that you had Jared Goff as your quarterback. He still got you to the Super Bowl.
Sure.
I think when you have Matt Stafford, you expect way more, especially when you acquire OBJ. Cooper Kupp having this phenomenal season. I think you have the defensive line that's playing out of their mind. 2 cornerbacks who are very, very good.
Yes.
Safety that you signed off the streets who is playing pickup basketball and is making plays.
At LA Fitness.
At LA Fitness. I think it is. I think it has to be Super Bowl or bust this season. And,
Okay, that's fair.
But I think this team is very well put together. A lot of people are saying, what? What are you thinking?
Oh, no, go ahead.
I'm saying a lot of people are putting the label super team on this team. I don't think so. I think they just put the right players in position and they have the bigger names. But keep in mind, let's go.
So Lakers aren't super team.
Yeah.
This is 2 different sports, but I'm saying super team as in the names. But in the production, there's a team in Cincinnati who could produce more than them. I think they have the better talent in certain areas. So go ahead. What do you think about this Rams team? Then we're going to get into our comparisons.
Yeah, predictions. You guys, especially you were talking about the trades this, trade that, right? The owner doesn't care about first-round picks. The reason why they are here right now, I'll tell you this myself, is because of their first-round, second-round picks that this man has made. Oh, sorry, not first-round. Second, third-round picks that this man has made. Cam Akers.
Yeah.
Right, he came back, was phenomenal. Had a good playoff run except for that Tampa Bay game. I'll give him that. Aaron Donald. He's the reason why they're in this championship game in the first place, right? So I'm talking to his team, talking around that defense, hype him up, whatever, right? Third, Tyler Higbee. He's been a low-key good playmaker, and he's been a low-key security blanket for Matthew Stafford. And I told my mom this. Someday he's going to, maybe even now, he'll remind me as as Jason Witten. That's a great security blanket for a quarterback. And then, last but not least, what?
No, go.
Last but not least, an underrated target for me is Kaden Blanton. The backup tight end, the man who took over for Tyler Higbee.
Oh, the random black guy?
I believe he had 6 catches in that second half.
Yeah.
And I believe 3 or 4 of them were for first downs. I mean, when he stepped in that field, he took up all that pride, took up that next man up mentality.
And fighting for yards.
For yards.
Yeah.
It looked like he'd been in the league for at least 5 years playing tight end. It was amazing to watch, and I feel like this team, they're better all around at coaching, right? And I think I just can't see Zach Taylor, the disciple of the man he's playing in the Super Bowl, who is 38 years old, by the way, and Sean McVay is 36. And when a mind that young has a disciple 2 years older than him, I'm taking that coach any day. That coach that young can get you a job at Cincinnati, where a team is begging for production. I'm taking that coach any day.
I think when you talk on coaching, I don't think there's a way that Zach Taylor could outcoach Sean McVay, but I think Sean McVay could just get in his own head.
Exactly.
Because let's not forget. I was about to say, let's not forget. Just last week or 2 weeks ago, but also that last Super Bowl. He even admitted it after the game that he was in his own head doing. He got away from what got them there, and he was in his own head. And I truly feel like he's gonna learn from this time. But I am nervous though. He does do things where he calls certain plays in certain situations. 3rd and 1, you have your team in shotgun, which doesn't make sense to me. You can sneak it, you can run it with Akers. I don't understand really what he's doing at times. Passing the ball, as we know throughout the year, he hasn't been really running the ball that well. But I think that this time, I agree with you. I think that the Rams certainly do have the coaching edge as long as Sean McVay doesn't get in his own head.
Okay, I'm gonna start off here. Don't you ever compare Tyler Higbee to Jason Witten. You are a Cowboys fan. How can you say that? Anyways, moving on here.
Not saying the future.
Moving on. Okay, I'm gonna go with the prediction. I'm gonna start off with my prediction, right? Before I do, here's one thing I'm gonna bring up. I want everybody to keep in mind this, right? Keep in mind. That's Los Angeles Rams teams, right? I said, could write a movie about it, right? Because of Matthew Stafford. However, they have a lot of actors, a lot of drama queens, right? A lot of guys who can play, right? If you remember a long time ago, Odell Beckham Jr. caught a stiff right from a kicking post, right? In the middle of a football game because he was upset. He kicked the ball, right? He was throwing stuff around, slamming Gatorade jugs, right? Aaron Donald, a guy who gets pissed off. We all seen the video of him picking up Devontae Freeman like a little boy, right? Because he was mad. He slammed his helmet before against the 49ers multiple times. He gets angry and he loses control.
He also yells at his teammates to encourage them to go win a championship game.
He does that too, right? And then Jalen Ramsey, a guy who is historically a trash talker, a guy who commits personal fouls because he gets in his own head, because he gets too full of himself. Now, I believe this Rams team can win it. And I believe this Bengals team can win it. It's going to come down to the little things, like how I said last week. Last championship round, right? I said it would be the little things, and it was the little things. They were field goal games. You mean they were very close games. It is no different this week. Yes, you were right, Will. I believe the Bengals have a better roster. I believe they have better playmakers. No. I believe they have better playmakers.
Better playmakers, yeah.
Yes. Yes, the Rams have name value guys. I understand. They have an older Von Miller. You know what I mean? They have a prime Aaron Donald. They have a prime Jalen Ramsey. Yes. Eric Weddle. Yes, was a retired player. Yeah, I understand. Should they have a lot of name value guys? However, I feel like this year, Higgins, this year Mixon, this year Chase, this year Burrow elevated their names to household names.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like they've always been those good players, but they just never got the recognition. And then now people are saying, oh, these guys are actually good players, right? When we've all been saying it from the beginning. Yeah. That's why, since I've been playing fantasy football, I've drafted Joe Mixon in the first round every single year.
Joe Mixon for the past, yeah.
Every single year I draft Joe Mixon, right? Anyways, just plugging that. Joe Mixon, feel free to send me a jersey. I wear a large. Anyways, getting into the score prediction, right? Contrary to last week, when I said it would be a low-scoring game, I believe this game is going to be phenomenal. I believe they have 2 weeks to prepare for each other.
Yeah.
High-powered offense. Yes, Aaron Donald's great. But you know what? When Joe Burrow was sacked 8 times, he still found a way to win. When he put against a Chiefs defense in the playoffs that is phenomenally good as the season goes on, he still found a way to win. When he put a Titans team, he still found a way to win. So I'm taking the Bengals here, 35-28, and I said it. I'll give them a whole touchdown right here against the Rams at home because I wouldn't want to bet against Joe Burrow. I learned my lesson a long time ago. Aaron.
I love Joe Burrow as much as probably this guy. I don't know. He might have taken over. But I've been high on him and the Cincinnati Bengals for a while now. I even said the Steelers would be last in the division, but, injuries happen. But the Bengals, I said all these free agent signings that they had for the season were actually big eye-openers to me. Yeah, Chidobe Awuzie, a young corner. He's slightly getting there as somewhat of a household name for the Bengals. I think he's a fan favorite. Trey Hendrickson.
Eli Apple.
Oh, you're so Eli Apple, yeah.
Eli Apple.
He's a good, reliable cornerback, right? Go ahead.
I can't believe you just said that. Jesse Bates, right? Made a game. He made the play of the game last week.
He was a free agent signing?
No. But he's a household name. Sorry.
Oh, gotcha.
But he made the play of the game, in my opinion.
He did, yeah.
Right? Swatting the ball away from that little 5'8" wide receiver over there in Kansas City named Tyreek Hill.
Great guy.
Eventually landed up in Von Bell's hands.
Mm-hmm.
Great guy. But yes, all these free agent signings, look where it got them, right? To the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Yeah. That's where everybody wants to be. That's where everyone wants to play. But then again, you look at the offensive side. It feels like, or the defensive side of the ball when it comes to the Rams. It feels like we talk this week in, week out, whenever we talk about the Rams, right? The defensive line, the pressure that they put. Yeah, Joey B got sacked 8-9 times, right, against the Titans.
Yeah.
He was also playing Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah.
He's also playing a washed-up Julio Jones. He was also playing a man who came back from injury who hadn't played football in 10 weeks.
Caught a one-handed. Oh, you're talking about Derrick Henry.
It's Derrick Henry, yes. He is not nowhere near, doesn't even smell, doesn't even hear in the distance Matthew Stafford. Matthew Eli Stafford, I'm telling you right now. This man is going to get it done. And Aaron Donald, what did you say last week after the game? What do you point out?
Yep.
The little ring finger. Von Miller's hungry for one. Odelius Beckham Jr. is hungry for one. Hell, no one's talking about this man, Gaines. Big man in the middle, 91. Him and Aaron Donald in the future, these next couple of years are going to be scary.
Good tandem.
He is, yes. Aaron Donald has taught him some pointers. I don't know what it is, but that man is a beast. And Leonard Floyd as well. When they get after you, they're going to keep coming. After Aaron Donald gave that speech last week, what did they do? Pressure started, kept coming. Jimmy G on the run. Terrible. Can't throw. Jimmy G in the pocket was hurried horrendously. Right? So when this team comes at you, they're going to keep coming. I don't care who's guarding who. You can guard Jamar Chase. You can throw it up to him against a 6'2" Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah.
I don't care who Darius Williams is guarding. Hell, I don't care who the two backup safeties that they have playing for Jordan Fuller and Taylor Rapp are guarding. When this team gets after you, they're going to come. And it's going to hurt. And I think that's why they win the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Your score prediction?
That's where it gets tricky. I'm not even going to lie. I'm going to go 27-23. Rams.
Okay. As you know, the game of football, especially in the NFL, it's a game of matchups, right?
Sure.
Matchups.
Sure.
I agree with almost everything that you said. Now, I will disagree with. I don't want Darius Williams to guard T. Higgins. I think that is a high matchup.
No. That's another thing I wanted to say too. Thank you. You brought it up. Is that I want Jalen Ramsey on T. Higgins and Darius Williams, or whoever's playing the corner or the nickel to guard Jamar Chase.
I don't know. I would think. I think that's gonna be agree. I think that's gonna be the toughest thing. I think if you're the Rams, you have to just take away the best player on that offense, aside from Joe Burrow, and that's Jamar Chase. I think you let T. Higgins eat all he wants, but I think the one person you don't want to let loose is Jamar Chase.
And also the Rams too. God, no one's talking about this, but please do not let Troy Reader get more than 10 snaps a game. I cannot watch him guard another running back. It's gonna hurt my soul. And I think I'm going to need therapy if I see him guarding Joe Mixon one-on-one.
You need a door for your mom.
Yes. We need 2 new doors. Yes, we do need a new door for my mother. But that was because of the Eric Weddle hit on Mike Evans. But it wasn't because Troy Reader can't guard Elijah Mitchell, 6th round.
I'm just saying.
Rookie.
Hey, going ahead. I think what was the biggest thing that we were talking about last year? This time of year. A year ago today, what were we talking about?
The tackles for the Chiefs.
Exactly. You're looking at these guys for the Bengals.
Bottom 5 offensive
line. They looked. I've never seen an offensive line look lost, especially in the playoffs. They looked lost in the middle of a play. When they have a guy who you have to double team, sometimes triple team in the middle,
they look lost.
You have Von Miller one-on-one essentially all game. You have Leonard Floyd essentially all game one-on-one. That's the worst matchup I think you could do. And I think Joe Burrow. I think the biggest thing in that game, he didn't have a big turnover. I think that with the Rams, this defensive line, I think that's what they're going to do. I think they're going to get the big turnover just like they did last game.
Every time they get a sack, when they go for the tackle, they
swipe down.
Always swipe down.
So I think that's the biggest thing in this game. Once I saw that matchup, once I saw the Rams celebrating, I was like, this defensive line has to eat. They have to cement themselves as essentially the best defensive line in the NFL. Now, on the Bengals side of the ball for defense, I think, who would you guys rather let eat, OBJ or Cooper Kupp? And this is actually a tough question to me. Because
Cooper Kupp.
You would let Cooper Kupp eat?
I'm not letting that man lose rhythm at all.
Really?
I'm not letting him lose rhythm.
After what happened?
I think they can both eat.
I think they can, but I think who are you going to be scheming for?
Oh, if Cooper Kupp. 1000%.
Okay. I don't know. I'm scared. I think OBJ could be a game changer. Looking at the times, all the touchdowns that he scored ever since coming to LA, I think that's something that could really just change the game. But I agree with you, Cooper Kupp, as you saw last week, just took the whole game over, took that for the quarter over. Saw him celebrate for the first time. I've never seen him celebrate.
Another thing, too, is that people forget. It's almost like they don't watch our videos. They don't game plan for Van Jefferson. This man on the crossing routes is like having his X factor on him in the whole game. It's unstoppable.
Yeah, he's a forgotten man in this offense, essentially, especially in the past weeks. And I think looking at the other side, forgotten man, Tyler Boyd. I think everyone's talking about T. Higgins, everyone's talking about Jamar Chase. Tyler Boyd was a very good quality receiver, for the past 2 to 3 years.
Yeah, like 3-4 seasons in a row, he had 1,000 yards.
Yeah, where he was just going off. Anyone who would get him in fantasy would find success with him. So I think this game is a game of matchups. Looking at the quarterbacks, even. Looking on the outside talent, both sides, even. I think just the deciding factor is the offensive line and that defensive line. And I do not think that Trey Hendrickson will get the pressure that the Rams will get. I think he's gonna eat. He's gonna have a good game. But I don't think
The Rams have already faced the toughest defensive line they're ever going to see.
Exactly. They face some good defensive lines. So I'm going with the Rams. I think it's a no-brainer. When you look at it on paper, you got to go with the Rams. Again, Joe Burrow, he is that guy, the icy guy.
Mm-hmm.
Storytell season for them. But
listen, like I said in the beginning, good things come to an end. This season has been very good for Cincinnati, the city, Joey B.
Can say the same
But
thing
when one thing ends, there's that little plant that starts growing.
Gotcha.
Oh,
And that's what the
Nick
Bengals are.
Sirianni, I know that.
What's your score prediction?
38-31.
Oh my
I'm
God.
going to go 38-31. I think Joe Burrow, I think the Bengals are going to be down early, but I think they're going to find their way. Joe Burrow's going to overcome that pressure. But
So you're taking the Bengals.
No. I'm saying he's going to overcome that pressure and get success, but, it's a team game. Team sport.
So you guys have all heard predictions here. You thought I was going to end the episode, didn't you? You guys are.
I knew you were gonna
You
say
guys are
something.
something right now. You really said something at me for comparing. Oh, you guys like, Ryan Tannehill. You just compared Joe Burrow, Jimmy Garoppolo. You should be disgusted with yourselves.
No, we compared the offensive lines.
Both of you should
We
be
compared
disgusted
the
with
offensive
yourselves.
lines. We did
You
not
really
compare.
compared Jimmy Garoppolo. Okay, anyways.
We compared
Listen,
the offensive line.
let's start down below. Oh, look, you see this guys right here? Yeah, we're going to be handing these out, guys. QR codes right here, guys. Huge shout out to Patrick Osuna, our editor, right? The heart and soul of this talk show, right? For making these very custom. We'll put it up right here on the screen. Beautiful, beautiful. So thank you guys so much for watching episode 3, guys. I'm Mike. Make sure you like.
the video.
I am. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe down below. Let me know. Hey, Jim, after you guys, Mike, really love your takes. You're the best one here. You're the only one that knows what you're talking about. And I would say, yes, I agree. Thank you. I've been saying it, guys. Thank you so much for watching another episode, guys. Thank you.
Derek Carr's the top 10 quarterback of all time. I swear
He
to
is.
God.